Alrighty, folks, it is October the 13th and we are live. Welcome to Hunting the Rut Hotline with Don Bell. Folks, we got some announcements for you tonight. It's going to be a busy night, man. We backed up. And guys, listen, it is October the 13th and I know you're thinking, where in the world's that sucker been? Folks, I've got a truck. It's a year old, the end of September. It's got 72,000 miles on it. Actually, it's got a little more than that, but as of September, the end of September, it had 72,000 miles on it. We're burning the road up, and the reason we're burning it up to is where you can go find Top Secret and Scent Defense and BioShield and Vog Zero. It's been an amazing couple of years. Folks, we're growing, so there's a lot of things happening. And welcome back to Hunting the Rut Hotline. Big Steve, that big bad boy, that crazy rascal, he's moving and moving. Dude, you know, anybody's ever moved, he's right there back in the middle of it, and he's just having a big time. We're glad you're here. Stay tuned. When we get back, we're going to try to get caught up with some emails and stuff. We got some callers coming in, and we'll be right back.
Your choice is clear, and so is the bottle. Top Secret Deer Scents. What's being hidden in that brown bottle? Oxygen ammoniates urine, turning it brown. To a buck, this translates into old news. Deer that had came and gone. When a buck smells Top Secret's oxygen-free, clear, yellow urine, he knows it's fresh. Those deer are right here, right now, and he wants to introduce himself. Top Secret Deer Scents. Oxygen-free, from collection to bottle.
Alrighty, folks, we're back, and listen, folks, I want you to pay attention to that call in. That's a toll-free number, 888-810-8989. Now, the big announcement tonight is, and I want you guys to pay real close attention to what I'm about to tell you. We are growing. And in the process of doing that, we're proud to say we're in the process of designing a new facility and getting ready to move and do that move. Get in the process of building and do. Now, having said that, we're also right smack dab in the middle of introducing, even though season, hey, you know, season opened in about 20% of the states. The end of September, it's fixing to open here in all of the states here next week. By the end of October, it'll be everywhere. Even though that's going on, since September, we've been showing what you're going to buy next year to accounts. So we're always, as a factory, you're always working a year out. So we're right smack in the middle of that, getting ready to go to the ATA, and you say, hey, Don, ATA's the first part of January. Yep, and we got 90 days to get ready to get to that thing, even though we've been working on it for a year. It is a big deal, folks. We travel all over the country. So what we're going to do is that we're going to go on, after tonight, we do the show 52 weeks a year. We're going to go on a sabbatical. And what I mean by that is, that's a fancy word, you know. In essence, what we're going to do, we will go on a sabbatical where starting next summer, the end of summer, we'll start and look at the show live again. But what we're going to do, you will still be able to get to us. The only difference is, and we do apologize, Steve and I, we've traveled so much and being gone, especially in the past, past 60 days. Every year, 60, 70, 80 days, I'm gone, literally doing seminars all over the country. And we do apologize for that, but we got to go live. Hey, some of you guys listen, you come to the seminars where we are, and we do appreciate that. But so in order to do everything that we're doing in this growth spurt, we're going to have to lock down on doing this, but we don't want to not give you the hotline. That is not going to cease. You're going to be able 24/7. You'll be able to call that 800, which is the same number you've been calling. But the difference is you can call and say, hey, Don, I got a question, yada, yada, yada. And I will call you back. Now, you say, you what? I will give you a buzz back, and we'll answer your question. Now, some of you boys don't call us from the tree stand because you may have a relevant question on what a buck's doing and you up in the tree stand. Now, you guys laugh. We got people that's actually done that. So we're really excited about where we are. This is by no ways a negative. We see it as a great positive. You still would be able to get to us on a regular basis at any time, 7 days a week, 24/7. You can hit this toll-free number, leave you a voicemail. Of course, you can still email, you can still Skype, you can still do all this stuff like you normally do to us, but it's going to give us a time to put all of this activity and growth through the eye of a needle to be able to be in full bore for June of next year, being able to ship for 17. So we're really excited, and we want you to be excited for us too. Appreciate all the kind remarks, guys. You come up to these seminars, and we enjoy them as much as you do. We enjoy this show as much as you do. And, we watch it. We see who's asking questions and stuff. And you're amazed. Just listen tonight to the people, where they're calling in from, and look at and listen to the questions and where they're coming from. They're coming from all over the country. Even though we do it 52 weeks a year, this time of year, it's like the peak of the rut. It's just jammed. From August to, December, man, it's jammed. And you got questions. Even though we do it 52 weeks a year, now you're really focused on it, and you ought to be. You really ought to be. Everybody's nationwide, everybody's in pre-rut. And of course, we'll talk about that tonight, and you'll see the questions relevant to that. So we're pretty excited about it. We want you to be excited about it with us. And Steve wanted to be here to announce it, but Mama's got him moving. Yep, the boy's moving. he said today, boy, I want to come. I said, I know you do, but Mama's got me moving. And folks, if you ever move, Mama says move, Mama's going to move. So, but we're excited about it. We want you to be 800. It's not 800 number. It's a toll-free number, but it's just not an 800 number. You see it on the screen. And of course, you go to huntingtheruthotline.com. It'll pop up. You can see this. Guys, and listen, we're seeing you look back at shows. It's amazing. We were talking in production night. We've been doing this 2 years. And, so we see people still going back, looking. And that's the beauty of what we're doing is it's almost like an encyclopedia, to where seminars are great. You're there, we're live, you're doing, but here you can go back and look. You can go back and look. You can go back and look. So pretty neat thing. In fact, for that matter is you literally could be sitting in a tree stand and go back. So pretty neat. We appreciate it, and we're pretty excited about it. So 888 toll free 888-810. It's on the screen there. 8989 Hunting the Rut Hotline, folks. We're excited that you're doing it. Call us. We're going to answer your questions. Okay, do we have, before we go, can I answer a couple quick questions? Okay, let's see who we got here. John Adams from Alma, Michigan. I think I did a seminar in Alma, Michigan before. Anyway, John wants to know, I have a few questions about top secret reserve deer scent. What is the shelf life if unopened? John, indefinite. That's true with any top secret product. You buy 10 bottles of Top Secret, and you laugh at that, I'm telling you, it's not uncommon. But let's say you buy it and you don't open it, we guarantee it right on, because it can't go bad because there's no oxygen. You open it, you need to vacuum it out, repump it out, or it's gonna ammoniate on you. So a liquid, any of ours, whether it's foam or whether it's reserve or whether it's regular 3-ounce stuff, for that matter, the synthetic that we have, that we sell into Virginia, same way. Once you open it, you need to vacuum it back out, because even our, and I think we've got a guy asking a question about this a little later on, even the synthetic stuff is formulated in such a way that oxygen will ammonia, it's not ammoniation, but it does the same thing, it'll weaken it. So, it's covered by the same process that we do our regular Top Secret. Does it break down over time, and would an old unopened bottle be as effective as this year's? If it's unopened, you're good. We stand behind it 100%. So no problem. So get you some. It's almost like a wine cellar. It ain't gonna go bad. It's not gonna age like wine. But it's down there when you need it, you got it. Sort of like ammo. You know what I'm telling you guys? Gun can't go bang bang unless you got ammo. And yes, sir, I'd buy me some. A lot of it. Okay, that's getting political, isn't it, guys? That's right. Get you some ammo and get you a lot of it. Bad stuff's going to happen here shortly. All right. All right, we got another question. Brian Fields from Seymour, Tennessee. All right, so we're in Michigan. We're coming south. Brian wants to know, after you pump out the air, how do you put the lid back on the bottle without getting air into it? Now, Brian, you're probably thinking about a 3 ounce here. You're probably thinking about this bottle. And if you open this bottle, you can't pump it back out in a 3 ounce. In order to keep the oxygen out, then what you do is you use our Scent Saver system, which is the pump in the bottle with the vacuum seal. So let's go hunting. You open, you pour it in, plug it, vacuum it out in between using it, and it works great, which is the vacuum seal and the pump. Okay? I know you're pointing at me right behind me there. Thank you, sir. What in the world he's doing this? I'm going, no, baby. All right. It's normally over here on my table. There it is. All right, so Brian, this Scent Saver system, you can find it at your retailers. Guys, of course, you can find Top Secret in your national accounts. You can get it at Academy, you can get it at Cabela's, you can get it at Walmart. All you guys in Virginia, you can buy all of the synthetics that we have, the full. They carry the full line of synthetics in Virginia, so you can go to any Walmart store and do it. And if you'll notice, you'll see end caps in there, you'll see sidekicks in there. We're growing. We're trying our best to make sure you can get you some Top Secret. Rule of thumb, please, we tell this in seminars, rule of thumb. You see Top Secret, you want it, you better get it. If they run out, it's not their fault, it's our fault. That's the reason why we're growing and we're trying to do and posture for that. Get you some. And the way to find out if I'm serious or if I'm selling you or if I'm talking smoke is don't get you some and then to go try to find you some. Go try to find you some. You see what I'm talking about. Brian, that's what you need. Right there, Scent Saver system. You can get it at your sporting goods store, and if they don't have it, you can always call us. We make sure to tell you where to get it, or we make sure you get you one. Then it's a one-time purchase that'll last you for years, and you can use it over and over and over and over. But you always got to vacuum out liquid Top Secret in between using it. Save you money, use it all the way down, still be yellow. All right, we're back up in Michigan, in Kentwood, Michigan. Leon wants to know, I would like to join the club. He's talking about the 1/10 of 1% club. I didn't see the cost anywhere, or I overlooked it. I would like to do a layaway plan. Now Big Leon, you did overlook it. And if you were to go to, at the bottom of the screen here, you can go to, and you'll see it in a commercial second about the 1/10 of 1% club, sponsor of the Hunting the Rut Hotline, and continue to do that. But he wants to know if you can do a layaway plan. We have a layaway plan that as a club member, you can buy the big bottle reserve, whether it's the 26-ounce estrus or buck or the combo. And if it's a regular 26-ounce bottle, you know, it's 4 payments of $25. It'll spring it out. Or same way with the combo, which is 120, 26 ounces with the Scent Saver system. Now, the thing about this is, Leon, once it gets into season, we don't do layaways anymore because season's in. In other words, if you can't get it today, October, and then it goes, say, October, November, December, January, it'd be January, season's out. So once it gets in season, then you buy it, we ship it to you. Now, we start the layaway plan back over March 1, and the reason we picked, why in the world March 1? Because believe it or not, Alabama and Florida being the longest season, goes out the end of February, so we don't want to penalize them. So at the beginning of March 1, it's open enrollment again. Everything's up for grabs. You need to renew or get your order. Then they start hammering that 4-pay. So if you want a 4-pay, March 1, but if you want it this year, you can go to the website, hit it, and say, I want it, and you buy it. It's a one-time charge. We'll buy it, you'll buy it, we'll send it to you, okay? The layaway plan, March 1. Get you something either way. All right, but just make sure you get you some. Can I catch a few more? One more? All right, now we're going to move our way over a little west there, southwest. We're going to move over into Washington, Indiana. Big Joe Phillips wants to know, here we are at club again. I want to get into the 1/10 of 1% club membership for 2017. Where do I need to start the monthly layaway plan? Just what I just said. How much is a 4-way payment? On the combo, it's $120. So what's that? $40. 120 times 4 is about 3. $32.50. Anyway, it's $120 divided by 4. If you think we do math here. But so what you're going to do, Joseph, you can do it now. You can. Well, you can't do the layaway plan now. The layaway plan starts March 1. But you can go ahead and get your product and now for this year. But the layaway plan starts March 1. And guys, even if you're a member, already a 1/10 of 1% club member, the only way you can be a club member, Joseph, is it's not a membership club. You don't say, okay, I'm going to buy into the club and I want to be a member. The only way you can be a club member is to buy a bottle. Then you're part of the 1/10 of 1% of America that gets it. But more importantly, that gives you sort of like first right of refusal, meaning that you're in line, and if as long as you renew by that date, you're good to go as a club member. Now you haven't got to do the 4-way. You can actually get it in ahead to make sure you got yours. So it's very important if you want it. March 1 is for the 4-way layaway plan, but you can renew and say I want to ship it in 17. You're good to go. But to do a 4-way is March 1. A lot of interest in that because some of my boys has got that. They like that stuff. I mean, I'm telling you, good stuff. So don't get left behind. It's not a commercial. It's just facts. So, snooze, you lose. And that's for sure. Hey, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll come back. We're going to catch up on some stuff. Be right back.
You don't like old milk. Deer don't like old urine. Brown and cloudy urine reeks of ammonia. Ammoniated urine means it's old, not fresh, and it doesn't fool deer. Top Secret Deer Scents, the only scent on the market that's oxygen-free from collection to bottle. It's yellow and clear because it's fresh. It's the only scent on the market that says a deer is here now and not last week.
Alrighty, folks, we're back. Let's see here. Just hey, a quick reminder. Our sales force here, which would be Tom, and coming to the door and said, "Hey, Don, just want to remind everybody that you're sitting out there and you say, gee, I want to be the 4-pay. But gee, $100, man. I just can't do it right now. But March, but I want me some privilege. I want me some reserve. We have the privilege. It is in a 4-ounce bottle, and it's a combo. Great price, half the price. You can get it now, but you haven't got to put all that money out on the front end. It's the same product that's in the big bottle. The only difference is it's not near the amount of product. A $100 bottle of reserve is 26 ounces. Folks, that's 26 ounces of estrus, single urine, no oxygen. That's 26 ounces of buck. This buck's for pulling off them does. Actually, and I tell people this all the time, the hardest to get is the buck. We have way less of the buck than we do of the estrus. Has always been the case. It will continue to be the case next year. We've got a lot of club members, a large percentage of the club members that renews, they go both ways. Because either way, though, you buy it, you can be a club member, buck or estrus. But a lot of people do both because they want to be able to use the buck every day of the year and use the estrus during the peak of the rut. Okay, you say we got a caller on the line? Let's see who we got right here. Alrighty, you got Don Bell. Who we talking to?
It's Pat from Ontario again, Don. How are you?
Pat, how you doing up here, baby? Is it cold?
Yes, it is cold.
Now, what do you call cold?
Well, we're down to about 5 degrees Celsius tonight.
Oh, come on now. What's Celsius? What?
Well, we're just about to 0.
What?
She's cold.
You talking about like 0 degrees?
Yep.
No, really?
Yep.
Damn.
Yep.
Did you know that there's airplanes that come south?
Yep.
And if you ever make it, down, it's I-65 will burn your butt slap up to where I'm sitting.
No, I like the cold.
Well, you and Holly have
Yeah. Oh, they got snow up in northern Ontario, up in Dryden and that.
That's crazy. Hey, well, let me tell you, I say that. I bought a few months back, well, I ordered it back the first of the year, but just got it, a wood-burning coal stove.
Yep.
Out of Rhode Island. It's restored one, big old thing. Oh, and man, I'm just chomping at the bit to be able to put coal in that sucker and light it up or light a fire under it. But hey,
I like to call it our deer. The deer are starting to move now.
Well, I guess so.
We get our animals moving around.
Well, we're, season in Alabama didn't even come in till the 15th. We
start our bow hunting on the 1st of October.
Yep.
Our moose hunting here, we're in my area where I live, it opens Monday. So.
You going moose hunting?
Yep.
That can be a mean boy right there.
It is so.
Well, look, man, we're glad you called in. What kind of question you got for us, Pat?
I had a few, and then my head went blank on me there. Oh, I talked to you before about your code blue that you get.
Yeah, you used to do code blue?
Yeah, you're the one that had made that before, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Started code blue.
Yeah, I actually found it this year up here.
You found code blue?
Yep. Non-synthetic, because we can't use real stuff up here.
Right. Now, let me tell you, just today, of course, we do Top Secret. And, of course, everybody listening to the show tonight, Pat's in Canada, Ontario, but Canada, and can't use real deer scent. They have to use synthetic. Well, just today, they received into Canada for samples, for 17 samples of, God, I think it was 10 or 12 SKUs, bilingual. So for the synthetics, we had presented it back in the summer to Canadian Tire and Walmart of Canada. So next year, high hopes that you'll be able to go in and you'll be able to get Top Secret, the oxygen-free, the synthetic in Canada as well.
Yeah, it was Canadian Tire where I found the code blue this year.
Yep, you'll be able to get you some Top Secret.
That'll be great.
It's we're pretty excited about it. We're growing, and we're doing everything we can do to keep up with it. So we appreciate all the support up there.
I keep trying to get you. We got to get you up here to have a seminar up here somewhere around the Belleville, Kingston area.
What's the big show up there?
We just had a Cabela's open in Ottawa.
Okay. It's a big consumer show.
The one in Toronto, you mean?
Well, it might have been the one in Toronto.
There's
I used to do that show, but we used to do a lot of consumer shows, seminars for, like the Harrisburg show and stuff like that, but we just stay so busy. I mean, I put 72,000 miles on a truck doing seminars at dealers directly to the consumer, and which of the hunting shows is that, but we travel literally all over the country. It's always a crazy, and that's the reason why we've been gone. We've been traveling doing seminars.
This year the guy that he's the dealer for his company's called the Food Depot. He's a Rack 'em Stack 'em deer feed guy.
Yep.
Yeah, I was at his grand opening for his store this year. He's got a lot of good stuff down there. I was talking to a couple guys down there about the Top Secret.
Well, let me tell you, two of the samples that we just sent up there were bear.
For bear?
Yeah, bear scent.
Good. We don't have any really good bear scent up here.
Well, you got two coming.
Alrighty, I'll be looking for.
Now we don't do moose. It's a numbers game.
Yep.
But are you on a tag, or are you just open season?
No, we're on a tag.
Yeah.
They just actually this year they just opened our spring bear hunt back up. It's been closed for 17 years.
Really?
They just opened our spring bear hunt back up.
It shocks a lot of people when I tell them this, and it even shocks some of the people in the state when I'm telling them, and they live in the state. Some of the biggest black bear, and I'm assuming you're talking black bear.
Yep.
Some of the biggest black bear in the country is on the coast of North Carolina.
Yeah,
you can literally walk the beach I mean, some of the biggest black bear in the country is coming out of North Carolina. It's crazy.
Yep, they are so. In the last 2 years, I've been coming big on bear hunting because I haven't really got a trophy bear yet. And I've done a lot of study, and I read on that down North Carolina there.
Yeah, well, on the coast, it's crazy. I was in Birmingham, Alabama yesterday. Well, I don't know if you know where Birmingham is. It's the northern part of the state. And the rep was standing there, well, I was sitting there talking to a guy, and the guy's talking to us, and he's showing me a picture of a black bear, guys. I'm looking at the guys in the studio. He was walking down 280, coming out of Birmingham, walking down busy 280, coming down the road in Birmingham. So
we got one here. I got it on my trail cam 2 years ago, and we've been watching him for the last 2 years, and we figure he's between 500 and 600 pounds.
Oh yes, this bear that you're looking at him, he looked big, but he was probably 250. 300 pounds, but on camera it looked big. No, but you get a 500-600 pound black bear, you got you a boy.
They're smarter than us.
Yes. Yeah.
And with the deer, them big old bucks. The one that I got coming out last year, I got him on camera once this year at night. He's a big old buck for a reason. He's smarter than me.
Yeah. Are you hunting over bait?
Yep. I got bait and I got scent out. I got him out a little bit early this year because I'm using the code block. I'm using my scent a little bit different this year. Paying more attention to the way you guys were describing how to use the scent last year.
Yeah.
That way this year, dragging it on my boot and going in, keeping my feet at the same time.
Well, yeah. You want to drag it behind you. Don't put it on your boot. Boots on your foot's in the tree. And same way with bear scent. I mean, you don't want same stuff. Listen, the name of our two bear scent is Sweet Thing and Trash Can. I got outvoted. Nobody liked the name Trash Can when I suggested it.
Yeah.
But did you notice the two names? Sweet Thing and Trash Can. And of course, anybody bear hunts just thinks they get it.
Yeah.
But having said that, bear are smart. There's a lot of principles hunting whitetail, really hunting any game.
Yep.
As far as techniques, but now, the difference between a bear and a moose and a whitetail, a little bit of difference on that. But listen, we appreciate it. And if this is literally a 0 degrees up there.
Yeah, it's just above 0.
Has it been being cold?
0. It was 0 this morning at 5 o'clock when I woke up.
That's wrong. That's just wrong.
Just beautiful.
Hey, listen, just a quick question. Seriously.
Okay.
You obviously you're watching American politics. Who the hell's going to win? Trump or Clinton?
Harrison Ford.
Well, let's go back between the one we really stuck with, and that's Trump or Clinton. What's the but?
I really don't know. I think by the way it's going, I think Hillary's going to get it.
Well, I tell you, we're all sitting down here in the heat of it, and we don't know. I mean, polls you can't.
That lives down there for 6 months. He's just in. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Ocala, Florida.
Yeah, I got a buddy that lives down there. He was just home here a couple of weeks ago. Him and I were just talking about that.
Well,
he's retired now, but he lives down there for 6 months, 6 or 7 months, and then he comes up here. So,
well,
but he was saying the same thing, being in the heat of it down there and everything.
These suckers put a sign up that says overtime. Shut up, Don. They're real subtle when I run over. They put all kind of stupid graphics up that you can't see. Like, shut the hell up.
It's going to be good to get that bear scent, though, Don. It really is. Just the last thing, we got 3 different guide units right here in my area that guide for bear, and a lot of guys from the States come up for it and that.
Well, it landed.
And I don't like. I'm a sport hunter. I don't like hunting that way. I don't like the dogs going. They tree the deer, tree the bear, and then you go out and shoot it. To me, that's not the sport.
No, that's nothing. That's just
I like the sport. I sit and I bait mine, and I sit in my stand, and I sit there. And there's 2 other guys that go with me, and we sit there and we wait. If we don't get one, we don't get one. If we do, we do.
That's right. That's the reason they call it hunting instead of shooting.
Yep.
You know.
It is so.
Well, look, we appreciate it, and listen, call in anytime. Stay warm, baby. Here it's going to get cool enough. I'm going to be able to light up that new, well, not new, but old wood-burning coal stove, baby.
My 3 hound dogs don't even want to go outside. I got a purebred Wachtel and 2 purebred Beagles, and they don't even want to go outside.
Well, hell, it's 0 degrees, man. I wouldn't go outside. I wouldn't go outside either. Hey, appreciate it, Paul. Thanks for thank you for calling in. Thank you.
All right,
bye-bye.
Bye.
0 degrees. That's crazy. That's just plain wrong in October. All right, folks, we'll be right back.
From Don Bell, the founder of Code Blue, comes top reserve doe estrus, the finest doe estrus ever collected. Top secret oxygen-free collection process is a complete generation above Code Blue. Our patent-pending collection process means no ammonia and no ammonia smell. At a limited quantity of 12,000 bottles, only 0.1% of hunters will be lucky enough to add Top Secret to their arsenal. Visit TopSecretDeerScent.com today and join the 0.1% club.
Alrighty, folks, we're back. Look up there in the top of the screen. See that little icon up there that says 0.1% club? Folks, now listen. We're in the heat of the battle. And you're thinking, gee, I can't think about next year. I'm trying to shoot these suckers in front of me. Now look, if you haven't got any reserve, you can still get yours, but you got it's not a 4-pay, as we just answered a couple of Facebook questions, emails there earlier in the show. It's that time you can join the club. You can, of course, we normally have 2 ways to do it. You can hit the option 1, buy it, and it will ship it to you. You still got time to do that. But if you want a 4-pay, that starts March 1, so get lined up for that. Guys, listen. We tell people this as you join the club, as you buy a big bottle of privilege. It's harder. We always have less for the buck than we do the estrus. And so all you boys that's got it prepaid, and you know, you joined the club and you earlier and you're doing it, and you said, hey, ship. They're shipping them bottles out there. Why? It's the middle of October, and when's the peak of the rut in the Midwest? You got it. So, man, their junk's going out, but they ordered it way back. Why? Because they wanted to make sure they had got tickets to watch Alabama's butt play Tennessee. I didn't say beat. I'm saying we're all going to watch Alabama and Tennessee play, but you can't go watch them on the 50-yard line unless you got a ticket. You're going to be like my butt, watch it on TV. So make sure you get your ticket to sit on the 50-yard line for the championship game. You got to order it now. You can join the 1/10 club. Just hit the little icon right there. You'll be able to see how to do it. You see all the benefits of being a club member, guys. It is that time. Get yours. Don't tell Mama Santa Claus is coming. Doggone, 2.5 months Santa Claus is going to be here. Tell Mama it's Santa Claus time. You know what I'm talking about. Hey, Mama, tell Papa, because your mama's hunting too. Get your 0.1%. Join the club. Get you some. All right, folks, let's see here what we got here. I think they look like they're lining up another caller in there. If I got time to do a quick thing, I'm gonna try to get a quick one in here, sneak one in on. Nope. You got a caller coming in, or can I? Then answer that question. I see folks, I can see them, I just can't hear them. All righty, Don Bell, who we got?
This is Brian calling from South Dakota.
Big Brian. Well, son, good to hear from you again. Brian and I just talked, when was it, Brian? One day this week.
Monday or Tuesday, I believe.
Yeah.
So I can vouch for the fact that you say you'll call us back when you say...
Oh, yeah, we'll call. It shocks people when we call them. They, you know, a lot of people, you know, and it's sad that companies don't do that. There's so many things that needs to change in the country, and but gee, you know, it's like I was telling you the other day, Ryan, you know, people, you go to work, you work hard for your money, people's money's hard to come by. We know that. You're spending money on our stuff, and we appreciate it, and doggone, you need an answer on a question. So we're glad to talk to you tonight. What kind of question you got?
Well, actually, the other night, you and I talked about using a grunt call.
Right.
And I actually have a follow-up question to that same topic. That question is, say you have a buck and you've grunted at him and he's kind of coming towards you. He's working his way towards you. How much is too much? When should you pipe down? When should you let his own curiosity take over? Or especially if you should lose sight of him to kind of keep from getting busted, I guess you could say.
And let me tell you, it is a excellent question, and the same question applies to turkey hunting. Do you turkey hunt?
I want to. Haven't had the opportunity yet.
Well, let me tell you. You know, and I'll give you the analogy of the two because it is a great question. It is very much a relevant question, Chris. I use that word relevant a lot. Chris sees me. All right. Here's the answer to that, Brian. Is that there's not a patent answer to that, because give you an example. Some people, when you get, you get up in the morning and you owl call to you're turkey hunting and it's breaking daylight and you owl call, right? And that old boy gobbles, and he's gobbling, he's back and forth, and you can tell when he hits that ground he's coming. Now sometimes a gobbler will, a big bird will lock up. He'll stand there and he'll just gobble his head off, but he's not coming. He's not closing ground on you. And a lot of times when that happens, he's hung up, meaning that he's got behind he's behind a little old creek, or he literally could be behind a blown down tree, and he just gets hung up, and that rascal will not come around that tree, right? So what you have to do is reposition on him. Now, that's not always the case. Some callers, die hard, and of course, Ben Lee, which is 5-time, Ben was good friend, 5-time world champion turkey caller. Eddie Salter, one of the best turkey callers, champion, lives here in Evergreen, Alabama. Good friend. That sucker gobbles, he's gonna kill him. Now, the difference between the two is if that bird's hot, some guys just shut up and let him. As soon as he gobbles, they'll shut up. It really depends on the bird. If he's hot and heavy and he's coming, let him come on. But if he's not, then you got to kind of coach him. It really depends. Let me see if the question is exactly, to make sure I'm getting it down. You're basically asking, if he's coming and you lose sight of him, do you keep grunting?
Right.
And
Yep.
I would say
that's the basic question.
All right, now, so
lose him. Is he moving to try and figure out what's going on?
That's what about now.
Or does he not trust his own?
Right. Now here's the question. When I say it's always a relevant thing, is what we're saying the scenarios is you've rattled or grunted, and you've seen him, but now you've lost him.
Right.
Now then the question is, when you seen him, was he moving? Was he reacting positive to you, or was he the case like what you talked about the other night, where you grunted and he never checked up on you, he just kept walking? On that one, first of all, you ain't gonna hurt because he's walking away. But if he's coming towards you and you lose sight of him, then I'd let it see if you can see him. But it all depends on body posture, where he's at, how he's closing ground, what's going on around. Is it windy? Is there a doe around? Is there another buck around? All of that depends on, for instance, when I turkey hunt, and this is just me, dude, you ever gobble at my butt, I'm going to promise you, baby, I'm going to pull that skirt up and say, hey, big boy, come over here. Come talk to me. I got you. I'm going to keep his attention. That's just me. I'm aggressive with it. Some guys, as soon as he gobbles, they'll shut up. But I'm wanting to tell him where I'm at. So how often you do it depends on what he's doing, what his body posture doing, and what's around him. Is there does around him? Maybe there's a doe that you saw, or you see a buck, or a young buck coming over here that he don't even see yet, or he's not even reacting to. So you got to take all that in circumstances at the moment just like when you pull a bow. A guy gun hunts, you bow hunt, right, Brian? Remember?
That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
If you bow hunt there's a big difference. Everybody bow hunts knows the difference, because with a gun, you can pull up on him a long ways. That bow, and I shoot a recurve, my son and I, and you don't pull that sucker back and hold it. So you've got to wait for that timing to know what that animal's doing, anticipating what he's about to do, what's going on around you to pull it. Well, it's the same way with grunting. So you react to what his body's telling you, what you know that's going on around you, or what you think's going on around you. Is it windy? Do you think you're losing him? And what I mean by windy, you still got leaves up there good.
Getting less and less every day.
But do you know how an oak leaf, a hang on, especially old red oaks, a hang on and they'll twirl and rattle? Well, case in point, if I've got one I've lost sight of him, then I'll grunt it. But here's the difference. You also got to pay attention how far away from him that you saw. When you last saw him and you lose sight of him, what's the distance, what's the time, and how far was he when you first saw him to where you lost sight on him? Because if you're not careful and you grunt and the wind's blowing, because you're thinking you need to grunt, and next thing you know he pops up, now you got a grunt in your mouth and your hand and the bow in one hand.
Sure.
Now, I tell you, a good grunt, we don't make it. I made it, I designed it. You ought to be able to go to Night and Hell. I think they still make this grunt, but it was a directional bow grunt. And what it did is it goes in your mouth just like a regular grunt, but it comes out the side of your mouth and goes back toward your ear. And you literally could spin it. The advantage and the reason I did that was because of that very scenario that I just told you. With a regular grunt, if you grunt, he shows up, you're in trouble. Now, because your hand's in your grunt's in your mouth with your hand and the bow's in the other hand. With the directional grunt, it goes in your mouth, so the whole time you're grunting, you literally can pull the bow and grunt. And the reason that's terribly important is there a particular place you like to shoot a deer with a bow? I mean, I'm talking about in the, what they call the kill zone.
I try to get them just above and behind the shoulders if I can on a broadside shot.
All right. See, and that's me. But now here's what I do. I think we've talked about this on the show before. Is that if you can imagine a deer, you're in your stand, like you was talking about those two cornfields. You're in your stand, and that deer's walking from right, which is where you saw him the other day, right to left. So he's walking sideways to you, and you grunt. Right. Most people, that's the perfect scenario. They want him broadside. I do not. I'll take that shot if that's all I got. What I want to do, I want him quartering away from me. I want him turning to leave me.
Sure.
And then I shoot him right off his butt. And if you were to right now take your hand and go between your belt and the bottom of your rib cage, that no man's zone, that soft zone, and you imagine you get on your hands and knees, I slide that arrow off of your butt through that, behind that rib cage, it's going to come out the other shoulder. I got nothing is interfering with me. So I like I want a deer quartering away. The advantage to the directional grunt, and you can go online, I don't know if you guys can do it in there, but it's Night and Hell Game Calls they're checking. It's called a directional grunt. I think they're going to check and see if they got it. The advantage to that is if that deer disappears on you and you got your grunt in your hand, you can go ahead and have your bow in a shooting position, and if that buck pops out, I can literally, let's say he's 10 yards from me, literally 10 yards. He drops his head, I'll grunt him. People say, you're crazy. No, I'm not. 10, 20 yards, I'm going to bump him. I'm not grunting him looking at me, but he drops his head or turns, I'm going to bump him. And what he'll do is he'll go to looking. In the process of looking, he'll quarter. I'm already full draw. I can shoot him. But
sure.
I'm comfortable enough in my skin. That's the scenario. That doesn't always work based off of, could be another doe there, could be another buck there, and all that kind of stuff. But as a general rule, grunt, if he disappears, just pay attention to what else is going on. Don't be scared to grunt. But you're not going to run him off by grunting. Again, ears, eyes, nose. If he's closed in on you, how far did you first see him? How far did you tell me that buck was that you saw on the right-hand side, about 50 yards?
About 50, 60 yards. Yeah.
Okay. So let's say he disappears.
Amazing how fast they can cover ground, too.
Exactly. That's that's the reason why I said you got to pay attention to his body posture. What's he doing? Let's see. There you go. What's he doing? We got some music playing there. What's he doing? Has his demeanor changed? Has his posture changed? In your case, he didn't even check up. He just looked and went on.
Right. Yep.
So, but if he ever pays attention to it, well, hell, he's paying attention to it. So you always got to be careful. If you lose sight, he can pop out at any time. But if there's any extended period of time, in other words, the last time you saw him, if he was walking positively, you're thinking, common sense says if he's 50 yards, he's walking at this speed, within reason, I ought to be able to see him in X amount of time. If he's not there in X amount of time, then he's hung up, or he's turned and walked away from you like a dang gobbler will. There could be one tree in the woods, and that gobbler can get behind that sucker, and then he'll turn and leave and keep that tree on you.
Right.
So, think about the speed, last time you saw him, what he was doing, what everything else is happening, but don't be scared to grunt, but give him enough time to close.
Sure.
Does that make sense? I mean, that's a lot of jabber jubing.
Yes, it does.
Sometimes when and guys that's listening to the show, Brian, was it did you email or had a Facebook question? The reason I called you.
I contacted you by Facebook.
Facebook. Brian had a Facebook question the other night, and it was on, the original question was on grunting. Instead of Facebooking the answer, this is why you don't do it. This is the reason we call you. And what do we talk? 30 minutes? And the reason,
At least, yeah.
Yeah, and the reason for that is because of all these scenarios. And there's a reason there's no patent answer to it. There's circumstantial. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say.
Right, I got you.
Everything is relevant.
Now we're about a quick question on this. You mentioned make sure, like when you are grunting, combine it with make sure you've got buck scent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Buck here. Is there a change in the type with the change in the season?
Nope. You talking about with the buck urine?
Yeah.
Oh no. You take a buck, again, it's not what you smell, it is when and where you smell it. That's the reason I give you the analogy, and I give analogies that you go tomorrow to a drugstore at noon and at lunch and you open a bottle of Old Spice cologne and Tom walks by. You're not going to knock him upside the head, but you go home after the football game tonight and smell Old Spice cologne, now you're mad. It's the same stuff. The only difference is it's not what you smell, but when and where you smell it. It is not what you hear, but it's when and where you hear it. It does not matter if it's a big buck or little buck in your bedroom when you get home. You flip the light on, there's a teenager in there. Do you care? Oh, okay. It's all right. You're just as mad. You're going to whip his butt just like you would anybody else. You're going to glock him just like you'd glock a 50-year-old. So it's where they are. It's not just what you smell, but where and where you smell it. To your point, the buck urine that you're pouring out today will only get better. And in your case, in South Dakota, the middle of, actually about the first of, the peak of the rut there, historically 7th to the 15th of the month. You get into mid-November, early mid-November. Yeah, but from Halloween on, you're going to see a good distinct difference in your buck urine, because he's most aggressive just before the peak of the rut, because he's protecting, he's checking that master bedroom. But once they start chasing does, even though he's checking his bedroom, he's also in somebody else's bedroom. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So he's not just checking his bedroom, he's trying to get into somebody else's bedroom, but yet protecting his bedroom. So he's searching. That's the reason dead peak. If I'm in I know it sounds stupid, but if I'm in a stand at one height, I try to get high and still. I want to see as much ground as I can see, even especially if I gun hunt too. Steve, that old boy he's a serious bow hunter. Now he'll light you up. I'm telling you, he will. And what do you use, a compound?
Compound, yep.
Yep. I ain't always most all my life I've shot recurves, and my son's 32, and we both shoot recurves. Of course, Steve's gonna kill him. When I see him kill, Steve will shoot him. Because Steve will kill that sucker out there 50, 60 yards. Yeah, he's good with it now, I ain't lying. How far will you shoot one?
Really good out to about 35 yards, comfortable out to.
Well, yeah, see, the average bow distance is 20, 25 yards, which is,
yep.
And if I can, I'll let that deer get well inside 20 yards with me. Now, I mean, I'll kill him 25, 30 yards with that recurve, but if I can get him in close, I'll just let him keep coming because I'm shooting a recurve.
Right.
So, but it'll kill him. He's just as dead with a recurve as he is with a compound. You're just gonna kill him a lot cleaner with a compound and further. So,
yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does. Yep.
Well, listen, man. We call us anytime. We enjoy talking to you guys, and keep me informed on what happens with that. If you see that 10 again.
Okay, will do.
All right. Thank you. Hey, appreciate you calling, Brian.
No problem. You have a good night.
You too. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All righty. Bye-bye.
All righty, folks. We're fixing to go to what we're fixing to do here. Questions? All righty. Hey, Brian, we appreciate you. They're telling me to go on with it. All right. Try to catch up. All right. Hey, Brian, we appreciate you calling. Guys, we'll call you. Let's go back to the first part of the show. That 800 number, you think, oh, that sucker won't ever call me? Yes, we will. Now, if you were to get Brian back on the phone and ask Brian when I called him, it was about 8 o'clock at night. But I called his butt, and we were 30 minutes on the phone talking a similar scenario to where that right there. Okay. Paul Stillman, good old Paul, up there in New Jersey. So Michigan, Tennessee, South Dakota, now we're in New Jersey. Canada. So we cover some ground. Paul wants to know, a friend of mine said he saw 2 bucks sparring the other day. Now, he's talking about recently, this year. He did not say if they were mature bucks or not. Our season starts this Saturday, September the 21st, coming up. Does this mean I can rattle Saturday? I'm inclined to think not. What are your thoughts? Rattling and grunting, Paul, is, we've talked, is simply puts a deer downwind. A lot of people call rattling, when you talk to people, and Paul do this tomorrow at work, you get some people that when you say rattle, they're thinking bang, bang, bang. But to your point, he heard some sparring. Sparring and rattling, illusions, two different things. Sparring is click, click, click. Rattling is bang, 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 or a combination thereof. But to answer your question, yes, you can. It's not going to hurt you. Don't get crazy with it, because they're not fighting right now. They ain't been long out of velvet, and so they're sparring and pushing around. And a lot of times, the ones that are doing that is not your big mature bucks, though that will happen. It tends to be your basket bucks, your subordinate bucks is kind of checking everything out and tick-tack-tack. Now, the difference is if you got 2 little bucks sparring and the big boy hears it, it depends on where they're playing at. If they're outside on the porch or in the backyard, he don't give a rat's butt. But if it's during when he's got his master bedroom, and in your case in New Jersey, you're talking the first middle part of or the first week in the 7th through the 15th of November. Now he's a little mad. So don't be scared to rattle, and don't be scared. You ain't got to get down hard on it. A buck will come to 2 young bucks sparring as much as he will 2 big ones fighting. It's not who is sparring and fighting. It is where they sparring and fighting that makes a difference. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you. Don't overthink it. I think you'll be fine with that. Let us know, Paul, how that works out for you, though. All right, I think we got another caller. All righty, Don Bell, who are we talking to?
This is Lenny. Don, how are you?
Lenny, I'm doing good. How you doing up there?
Good, good. The temperatures are dropping, and you know, it's getting better by the day. I had a quick question for you.
Yep. Well, hey, Lenny, let me tell you something. Are you in the flood area? Guys, Lenny's from North Carolina, right, Lenny?
Yeah, we're actually inland in the Raleigh-Durham area, so it's not really, we didn't get hit that bad.
Yeah.
All the flooding's out in closer to the coast.
You dodged a bullet. We're down here in Florida. In Pensacola, we understand hurricanes.
Absolutely.
Okay, what kind of question did you have, Lenny?
Well, I had my trail camera out. I don't know, going back the end of September, and I had a lot of good activity in the trail camera. And October 5th, I want to say, around that time, I started putting some scent out on a mock scrape.
Right.
And the activity on my trail camera has sort of slowed down. You know, I still have deer coming in, but it's weird. They're all coming in between 3 and 4 a.m. versus, 5, 6, 7 a.m. or 6, 7, 8 p.m. at night. They just dramatically shifted.
Lenny, did they shift from nighttime to day or day to night?
They shifted from night to early morning, and from early morning to earlier in the morning, so between 3 and 4. So they're all concentrated now between 3 and 4 a.m.
Yeah. Well, the movement, on the camera, it'll ebb and flow. What time of year it is, the food source, what's going on, buck-doe ratio, pressure, but season is opening. But as far as putting the scent there, that's not going to affect less deer, more deer, because scent, once you put it out, especially with Top Secret being that it's oxygen free, that's the reason we tell people all the time, the best way to use any scent, and certainly Top Secret, is to put it out while you're hunting. Because what happens is people think, well, I'm going to go put me some buck urine out, and I'm just going to keep it out there. Well, what you're doing is you're conditioning that deer to come in and smell a fresh deer, and can't never see the sucker. Well, that's not right. I mean, so, now, if they come in and smell one that was there, that's curious, but they're not going to hang around that a deer was there two weeks ago. They're there in that area for a reason. Now, once you're going to hunt that day, put that scent out and hunt that day. Because that is a relevant thing that tells the other deer you're there now. It's not that it's going to hold them in the area. Now, mineral mixes and stuff where it's legal, you can do that. That's going to hold deer more in a geographical area. Of course, North Carolina, can you or can you not corn?
You can, as long as you're in private property. If you're in state land, you cannot.
Yeah.
As long as you're on private property or hunting on somebody else's private property.
Yeah, the theory behind feeding, corn is that you're going to hold them on your property. The problem is the guy that's 50 yards across on the other side of the property line, he's got one spinning too. So, after a while, it just becomes another food source, and they're going to go from here to here. So that's the reason why you pay attention in pre-rut to food sources, because it's pre-rut. Bucks are still in bachelor groups. Does are about food sources, but as those food sources change, they're going to change. There's very few restaurants you can go to and get everything. Not everybody's a Waffle House where you can go at 3 o'clock in the morning and get a steak, or go at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and get grits and eggs. So as the season progresses, they play with that. All animals do. It's not just whitetail, but certainly whitetail with pressure. Are you hunting private land or are you hunting public?
Yeah, it's private land.
Yeah, yeah. I think in our conversation before is that that's not a, you're not heavily pressured.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, there's definitely, from what I can see, there's no pressure in the area.
You're bow hunting? Obviously, you're bow hunting.
About the October lull. I mean, I don't know how true that is.
Well, I mean, there's a lull. I mean, that what they call that when you use October. See, in Alabama, it's not October. It's December, especially mid-December. Them suckers go to the moon, Mars or Venus or somewhere. I don't know where they go, but they all go together. They all catch the same bus. I mean, there's tracks everywhere, dude. I mean, you can't put your hand down and hit a track in Alabama, but you ain't gonna see that sucker hardly. Now, then the latter part of Christmas on, dude, they're everywhere again. They haven't went anywhere. They're just not traveling where you can see them. Now, you certainly people, the cameras, you'll start seeing that, but don't get overly concerned, especially early on in the season like that you're not necessarily going to try to, you're not going to move them from moving patterning from 3 o'clock in the morning to daylight. The exception to that is if you got a nocturnal buck and he's hitting a primary scrape and he's tearing it up at night. That's an exception because he's there at that particular place at a particular time for a reason. I mean, to check his master bedroom. So with a very intense motive. So now you can screw with him. Now you can start using that buck urine to bring him in closer, but you got to be consistent at the time you put it out there. You can do it 2 or 3 days in advance at the same time, and his nose will make him start coming in earlier to catch it because he keeps telling you to get out of there. So it's like coming home smelling Old Spice at 3 nights in a row working shift work. Well, yeah, about the 3rd night you're going to punch out early and come home and try to catch Old Spice. In that sense it'll work, but this is pre-rut. So I wouldn't be overly concerned with that, but use the buck urine. Now, when you're out, it's out. When you're in, it's in. People are starting to really understand that, but some of these old boys that's got these scent dispensers that drips when they're not there, they sure want to put it in there. I mean, we appreciate you people putting it in there because you're buying our product, but not so much helping you any better by doing that. You need to put it out while you're there, and then bring it in. And bring it in.
Enough scent. Just put enough scent so that if you can smell it, then that should be enough.
Yep.
For
absolutely.
For you to smell, right?
Tell 100% right, Lenny. If you can smell it good, he can smell it great. I get asked all the time, how much scent do I use? You smell it good, he can smell it great. The hotter it is, right now, today, tomorrow morning, I'm gonna hunt in Pensacola, which can't, but I'm just saying if it was season was in. So I go over here and I get in a tree stand, I pour buck urine out. You pour it out in North Carolina tomorrow morning, and was it Pat Griffin that called in, guys from Ontario, Canada? It's going to be 30 degrees where he's going to be in the morning. Well, scent's going to last him longer there than it will you, and scent's going to last longer in North Carolina than when I will down here where it's warmer. The hotter it is, the more scent you're going to have to use, and the shorter it's going to last. The colder it is, the less you got to use, and the longer it's going to stay. And what I just said is playing out now in Pensacola, Florida, down here where deer are. It's playing out in North Carolina on your piece of property, just like the deer is up there. Even though he's not looking for whitetail right now, he's fixing to go on a moose hunt. It's playing out there. So you're exactly right. You got it. Just apply, and don't be scared to apply that knowledge. a lot of guys get it, but they're not sure of themselves. And if you listen to me talk, I'm not overly thinking the answer. It's because we're head of the food chain. And once you understand these animals, and you know, guys listening and talking to Lenny's one of these kind of guys that pays attention and wants to know, learns. And that's what we all do. And Lenny, you know, you originally from New Jersey, weren't you? And you moved down to North Carolina?
Yeah, that's correct.
So, you know, we got a Jersey boy in North Carolina. But you've been there, what, 2-3 years?
No, actually, it's been about it's been a year already.
Oh, okay, well, let's see. But went down there, asked around, you know, talking to people, property, all. That's the way you do it. That's what predators do, you know. Coyote don't just walk out there and just sit down and wait for, you know, something to come by. He's out actively looking and understands the habits of the animals he's looking for. And we're ahead of the food chain. So that's what this show's all about, hunting the Rut Hotline. It's a pretty neat thing. Lenny, well, look, we appreciate you calling, and you call us and contact us and keep us informed out there. And I hope you guys. North Carolina's not normally used to this kind of hurricane stuff. We're down here in the Panhandle, and you know, we're old hat. I've got a neighbor that is from Washington, D.C. He bought an old plantation from me here a year or 2 years ago, and he just renovated a townhouse right on the St. Johns River, 10 feet off the river. And I talked to him today. I said, you know, well, and his daughter lives there, and you know, Jacksonville, Florida. And I said, what's the deal with the? He said, you know. I said, dude, you're talking like a true Northerner. You've never been through a hurricane. Is that your first hurricane you've been through, Lenny?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the first hurricane?
First one.
But see, you're inland, so you didn't get the blunt of it.
It was all rain. It wasn't even high winds or anything.
Yeah, see, that hurricane hugged that coast. The bad part of that bad boy was on the northeast corner. It kept the northwest corner going up the coast. If it had went inland and went up it, it'd have tore the dog mess out of that coast. I mean, you do 120-mile-an-hour winds, that's some bad stuff. Well, look, we appreciate you calling in, and keep us informed. Let us know how everything's going, and call us anytime.
We'll do that.
All right, Lenny, thank you so much. You guys stay dry up there. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
All right, bye-bye. Last question. The most asked question when people call in to customer service, Teresa, or text in, it would like, what do we say?
Teresa.
Huh?
From Teresa.
Oh, it's from Teresa?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Teresa. Teresa's been with us from day one. Teresa's not only customer service, Teresa's a very important part of this company. The most asked question when people call in to customer service is, she texts in, would like you to explain the Scent Defense 3-in-1. We get asked about the Scent Defense product the most. All right, guys, listen. And the reason for that is Scent Defense 3-in-1. We have in Scent Defense 3-in-1. And folks, this right here, that's what Teresa's talking about. We introduced this product last year. You go to the store, any sporting goods store, chain, independent, they carry Odor Stop. Odor Stop is the second largest category. Now, it comes in spray, it comes in body wash, it comes in laundry detergent. Right now, think in your head the store you shop at. Go there and you're standing in your head, you're seeing all the different companies. You know the difference between them? Packaging and price. They all kill odor. So why would we go get into that? Chris, can you see that good on the camera, 3-in-1? All right. Notice, Scent Defense 3-in-1. Ours not only kills odor, but it repels ticks, mosquitoes, chiggers, black flies, any kind of biting insect, plus it is an attractant. A guy wanted to know, I don't know, what was it, Facebook or something, somebody had asked, what's the difference between yours and Dead Downwind? And notice, the only reason I said that brand, wasn't picking that brand out, so it doesn't matter, they all kill odor. They all kill odor. Ours kills, and the difference between us and them or anybody else's is, you can use their product and it'll kill odor. But while you're sitting there with no odor, them ticks and mosquitoes and chiggers and black flies go eat your butt up. Ours is going to keep them off of you, plus it's going to be an attractant. So if you can, common sense says, if you can kill your odor and you can get a product that has way better added value, which protects you from that, and there's a great device out there, and I'm serious with that, and you guys know what I'm talking about. It really does work. It's a little thing, you put the little cylinder in it, stick it on your pocket. That bad boy puts a little protection over you. Good product. Only works on mosquitoes. The ticks, chiggers, and black flies are going to eat your butt up inside that little tent. There's the difference. And Teresa's right. Did you hear? One of the most asked about products is right there. This is a game changer, just like Top Secret changes oxygen-free. 3-in-1 changes it. We have it 3-in-1. You can get it at your retailer. The retailer hadn't got it, said, man, I want some of that Top Secret 3-in-1. You ought to be seeing all these commercials on all the channels, Outdoor Sports Pursuit and Wild TV. Hey, folks, get you some. There's a reason why Teresa sent that in to us, and appreciate it. Have any questions, call us. You can talk to Teresa, you can talk to Kim. If you got a question, call us, we'll call you back. And if you don't believe that, try it out. We'll call you. Folks, listen. They're telling me they're doing this little number to me. Guys, Hunting the Rut Hotline, this will continue, but the actual airing, as we've done tonight, we will resume this when we get into the new building. You're looking at probably realistically July, August, or probably late July next year, and we'll update you on that. But hey, you can still get to us. You can still get to Steve and I 24/7, 7 days a week. Hit that 800, that toll-free number, 888-810-8989. Go to Hunting the Rut Hotline. It'll take you to the shows. You can see all the previous shows. You can text, you can email, you can Skype, you can still do all of that 24/7 to ask us. And folks, we'll call your butt back. You don't believe it? Try it. Folks, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you on the phone. Thanks so much.